Morning. Right, you're on to the video about the bits and pieces of where we've got that, so this is where we're at. Okay, this is the faulty unit, so this is the charger unit on there. Now, things that annoy me about it is, well, one of them is it's not been up to the job, which is my own fault for not changing in the first place. Okay, two, I can't get into this because I wanted to salvage some parts out of it. It's because everything is pot riveted and it is one complete piece that's been folded. But anyway, the unit's knackered, so it doesn't matter too much. What I have done is reached inside of here, like where these are. There's another connection in there, and I've cut that out because I actually want that. So, put that out of the way. Anyway, I took apart this, okay, so I can wire into it. Now, this was the same. I've actually, to get into it, I've had to take the whole thing apart. So these are the sides, there's the top. That's annoyed me as well, the fact that it was old spec, but you couldn't see that written on it because this unit was sat on top of it. And this is the front. Now, normally when you're working on a consumer unit, you can get into it, but because this was all, I'll just put the front on so you can have a look. Hang on a minute. So, normally it's on like that. Well, usually with most consumer units, you can take them apart. So I could get into them and I can alter what I need to alter. Things I don't like is this unit is fed through this switch, which also feeds the boiler as well. Well, this is 10 amps. Well, from what I can gather is this should be 6 amps. So it's wrong. So what I needed to do is I've got to upgrade. So what I'm doing now is I can't add another one into this unit because it's a perfect fit. So it just won't fit in. So I've got to extend the unit with another part to it so I can run 6 amps through it. So this is what I've got originally. So it fits in the van, this bit against the back of the wall where my hand is here. So I'm the wall, it fit there. And then all the wiring is behind the loom and such like, which I'll take you to show you now. Something I forgot is I'm waiting for these as well. I've tested these and one of them's faulty, so I'm actually going to replace them both. So these two are relays. They're actually tractor relays, is what they are. Anyway, I don't suppose it really matters. But all of these panels, they're all pot riveted together. There are no screws. So for me to take this apart, I've had to drill everything out. There were no screws, no nothing. You can't get in to work on this unit at all without drilling all the pot rivets out. So I've got it all to pot rivet back together again when I've finished. Now I'll show you. Okay, we're in the van now. So this is where the unit fitted originally. So this fitted on there, and then that square bit that you can see there, that was where the actual charger unit fitted. But it gets so hot in this cupboard, and because we use this cupboard for our clothes and things, I don't think it really helps. So I wanted to put it somewhere else where I can dissipate the heat a bit better and get close to the battery, because it really needs to be as close to the battery as possible. And the further away you are, the bigger the wiring needs to be. So what we've done, or what I've done, is there's the battery, which is underneath the driver's seat. Apologies for the tools and bits and pieces all over. So what I've got to do now is I've run my wiring in. So this is already wired up. So this is my new 6 amp MCB because I couldn't fit it into my other unit. This is the cable that's all wired up and runs through the back of this cupboard. So you can't actually see it because it's here. So it's this. And that runs behind everything, so I've had to fish that through. That connects into there on the MCB at the bottom down there, look, comes out the top and then connects onto this unit. I'll go around the other door and show you. At the other door at the moment, so this is where we are. This is our MCB unit. There's our charger unit. There's the wiring. To get me round and without me drilling holes, I've just dropped it through that vent. That allows me to get in behind the cupboard. So this is all wired up. Then I've got to run wires from here now. When my wiring actually turns up, I've got to run it through here and get me all the way to the battery onto here. Now for this battery, I was working everything all off these 2 terminals. But there's an awful lot of wires to it. To be quite honest, I was never happy with it. So now I've got the opportunity to change it. So what I'm going to do is I've put on 2 bus bars or bus bars. So these act the same as what the terminals do on here. So what I've going to do is bring all my wiring from this unit into the battery. I shall connect it onto here and here. And then I'm going to run a lead from there onto the battery there and onto the battery here, which Christine's going to nip to Halfords and get me a couple of short lengths of this stuff, which will allow me to connect on. At the minute the wires are they're not tightened up, they're just thinging in to hold them in the places where they need to go. Just stops them bouncing around and potentially you know, making connections I don't want it to make. The reason why this one's connected is because this one can't go on the bus bar, has to go on the top of the battery and goes all the way back to the MPPT, don't ask what that stands for, in there, which is to do with the solar power and it's to do with heat. So this is a heat sensor that goes back to that, and that has to be on that negative terminal. That too also feeds all the way from here, and I also fed that through there. You can't see it all, the wires well hidden. So that's where we're at the minute. So today I need these bits. Me parts that I'm waiting for, Royal Mail, who are the most untrustworthy parcel delivery service, again can't seem to send things anywhere. Now I ordered me 2 relays. Them relays went from the seller to Hull. They're now stuck in Hull somewhere, and I'm waiting for them to send them across to Bolton. It's just ridiculous. But I'm also waiting for the cable. So today, all I'm going to do today is I shall get the pot riveter out. I shall drill out all of the holes on the unit, get the pot rivets ready. So once I've done it, I can actually crack on. So I've still got to drill out some of the pot rivets anyway. Okay, we've finished, we think. So I've put the box back, all the wires back. The box that was here, that was off the top, that was the original charger for the battery. We've moved that now, and we've taken this off it now with the power line, run down behind, and then brought that down here. So got that setting on a trip switch on there. there's the unit. The wiring comes round here, down underneath the carpet there, up onto here. We've got everything here on the battery, onto the bus bars, then onto the battery itself. We're going to plug it into the 240 tomorrow, because I'm going to put all my tools away and everything then. But we're back on with power. So hopefully, touch wood, cross fingers, all that kind of stuff, that we're back up and running. I shall have a look at these clips tomorrow as well. Anyway, look at the mess. Not the tidiest worker in the world. I've got tools everywhere. Anyway, that's what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like from round the other. Right, okay, so there we go. There's our lithium battery, what we had in before. I've fitted in some buzz bars onto there, brought all my connections in. I've got a couple of extra fuses, so I've kept them down here so they're nice and easy to get to underneath the thing. If you want to know why I've got positive over this side and negative over that side, I think I said before, it's all because of this. I'd have had to have bought another one to stretch me over there, and I'm too tight to do that. So I've swapped them over and then just fed this one back across and that one over that way. And that keeps that nice and tight. Thing onto there. There's my 6 amp MCB, which I've got for me battery charger. And then you might just be able to see there a little bit of wiring. So there should be a fuse there and a couple of wires. They all feed down to the floor down there, and then come up underneath and round on the battery. So we'll give it the full test tomorrow. Okay, we're all hooked up now. We've got the 240 on. We've just been through and checked everything. We've checked the heating works, all the power works. So we've got the 240 back on there. We've got this working, shows that we're hooked up on that little point on there. We're charging as well, so there's our battery, and there's our charger on there, our MCB. Everything so far looks pretty good. The noise you can hear possibly is this, if you can hear that. But you can switch that on to what's called silent mode for the night time. But to be quite honest, we sleep that well, doesn't bother us at all. Just check the fridge. Check that. Yeah, I can just hear that. There we go. Brilliant. All I've got to do now is put the seat back on again. Move on to the next job. I've done the hinges. They're all done. I've got the cupboard to build back up again. All of these have a specific purpose. So I don't know if I ever showed you, but like for these here, while I'm here, when we got the van, we had a problem with our clothing all being around this as a unit and things getting in the way. So I made these for it, and these all sit in like, or maybe they don't. I've put that one in the wrong place. I have to take that one off. Screwed that one in wrong like a bloody idiot. Or have I? Oh, I haven't. Just wants twisting. Hang on a minute. Bloody idiot, Stephen. That's it. So this piece here sits there like that. So that holds that in place. The hole there allows me to get to that switch. So I can put things in the bottom now, and it's not blocking the vent or anything like that. And then we have these shelves. So, which are these? Now this might be a bit difficult to put in with one hand, but this is our next piece. There she is, she's gone in straight away. So on this one under here, this is just to block it all from dropping down behind. You could just reach behind and do that switch, so all that bit there stays open. And then our other ones, it's these are two different sizes, so I think it's this one first. Methinks, not really sure. They are a very tight, I can't do it one hand. Anyway, there's two more shelves to put in on top, so I'll do them now and it's all done. There we go, just needed two hands, put the shelving all back in again. There we are. Job's a good one.